Wand, the ready.
Expecto Patronum! Expecto! Expecto! Expect.
The Christian view of perfect happiness can seem kind of depressing when you think about it. The material goods we have all around us won't satisfy us, and being praised and adored by others, well, that won't do either. Heaven might be really great, but focusing so much on heaven makes it sound like life here on earth is a little slice of hell. Thankfully, that's not actually the way it works. Even in this life, we can get a taste of the good things to come. And we call this contemplation. And there are some great illustrations of what we're talking about in the Harry Potter series. Basically, the contemplation of God means turning our attention to God with our souls and clinging to Him in love. At the very heart of contemplation is looking at our beloved with love. Harry does all sorts of heroic feats for those he loves, but at the end of the day, what he wants is just to be with them. The best example of contemplation is Harry's discovery and use of the mirror of Erised. Because Harry loves his parents and misses them, he just wants to be with them. But there is a problem with the mirror.
It shows us nothing more or less than the deepest and most desperate desires of our hearts. But remember this, Harry. This mirror gives us neither knowledge or truth. Men have wasted away in front of it, even gone mad.
That strikes me as an odd sort of claim by Dumbledore. After all, the mirror does show us what we most truly desire. Yes, but all it shows us is our desire. It doesn't give us the reality that we seek. Hence, men have wasted away in front of it. So that is a rough idea of what contemplation can look like in a concrete way. But contemplation in its truest sense, in a theological sense, involves the mind looking at God with love, even though God can't be seen by us in this life. Yet we do have contact with Him by faith. And one of the ways that contemplation affects us in a concrete way in this life is through hunger. Contemplation gives us a wordless, imageless contact with God, sitting with that friend that we love. And it's wonderful, and it produces a certain amount of satisfaction. But the odd part about contemplation, true contemplation, is that it makes us even more hungry for a deeper union with the God who is love. Harry is happy to look at his parents in the mirror of Erised, but it also deepens his hunger to be with them, because he's kind of presented with the reality, but not quite, and he wants the full thing. That growing hunger for what we love opens our hearts to God and makes us more desperate to see His face. However, it also makes any sort of contact with Him sweeter once we actually have it. At the end of The Half-Blood Prince, Harry makes the deliberate decision to break up with Ginny Weasley, not out of any lack of love for her, but because he doesn't want his love for her used as a weapon against him. That separation is painful, but Harry knows it is the right thing to do. And this brings us to two important points about contemplation. The first point is that the old saying, "Absence makes the heart grow fonder," is very true and fundamental to the experience of contemplation. When Harry returns to his beloved school, precipitating the Battle of Hogwarts, he sees Ginny Weasley once again.
Harry.
Hi there.
They've been separated, and now at last they see one another.
6 months she hasn't seen me, and it's like I'm Frankie first year. Only a brother.
And they just stand there and behold one another, oblivious to the rest of creation. Their hunger for each other had grown during their separation, and now that they are able to look on one another again with love, the world seems to stand still. St. Augustine was a bishop who lived in North Africa during the 4th and 5th century, and he was one of the great brains of Christian history. And he said that the whole life of a good Christian is a holy longing, what we long for, as yet you do not see, but longing makes in you the room that shall be filled, when that which you are to see shall come. Let us stretch ourselves out towards him, that when he comes he may fill us full. For we shall be like him, because we shall see him as he is. The second broad point I want to make about divine contemplation, which makes it different than Harry and Ginny's contemplation of each other, is that it is imageless and also wordless. This is because the reality that we are looking at with love, in the depth of our hearts, is God, who is a spirit, and so not visible to the naked eye. Now you might be asking yourself, gosh, how can I grow in contemplation and in loving God? Well, first let me say that it is possible. We really can grow, and there are some specific things we can do. When St. Augustine was discussing the holy longing, he also gave this advice. When you would fill a purse, knowing how large a present it is to hold, you stretch wide its cloth or leather. Knowing how much you are to put in it, and seeing that the purse is small, you extend it to make more room. So by withholding the vision, God extends the longing. Through longing, he makes the soul extend. By extending it, he makes room in it. Isn't that lovely? Now what the heck does that mean in reality? Thankfully, growing closer to God is not magic. We just do the same sorts of things we would do if we wanted to become better friends with anyone else. Spend time with them and do nice things for them. In other words, prayer and good works. That is the not very magic formula for growing in the love of God. Let's first tackle prayer. I've said contemplation is a wordless or imageless prayer, a holy longing that we can have, or sometimes even a deep peace. If we're blessed, there are a few friends in our life that we can enjoy spending time with, but don't need to talk to all the time. We can just be together. That kind of friendship takes time to develop, though. Before that, we need to talk to our friends about our joys,
I've got presents. Yeah.
our sorrows,
Harry, what happened?
to laugh with them, cry with them. I also need to put in a little disclaimer here. We don't get to contemplate God by finding the right breathing technique, or sitting in the right position, or holding our hands just so, and if we do that right, well, we'll be able to fly all over the place. Contemplation is a relationship, not magic. So prayer can be helped along by images or things like the rosary or beautiful music, because they help remind us of who God is and what he's done for us. But at the end of the day, that intimacy with God is his gift to us. We can prepare for it, we can respond to his grace when it comes, do what we know is right even when it is difficult, but it is at the end of the day a gift he wants us to have. Besides spending time with God in prayer, we also need to put that love into action. In showing our love for others, we manifest what they mean to us, but we also increase our love for them. When Hermione is hurt because of Ron's lip locking with Lavender Brown, and again after Ron abandons his friends in their search for the Horcruxes, it is Harry who steps in both times to comfort Hermione. And it is in those difficult moments, through that loving care, that one heart speaks to another. It is the little gifts that build up intimacy between human beings, and it's no less true with God. Jesus addresses this very point when he says, "The person who is faithful in very small matters is also faithful in great ones, and the person who is unjust in very small matters is also unjust in great ones." At the very heart of the moral life is love, the love that gives us life and peace when we encounter the one that we love. This side of heaven, we're not going to get that unmitigated experience of love, but we can get a taste of it. And it's that hint of who lives inside of us that allows us to remain faithful to the end.
Expecto Patronum!
St. John, the beloved disciple and evangelist, wrote, "Beloved, we are God's children now. What we shall be has not yet been revealed. We do know that when it is revealed, we shall be like him, for we shall see him as he is. Everyone who has this hope based on him makes himself pure, as he is pure. In hoping and expecting to see the face of God our Father, we come to share in the reality that is God's goodness, here and now. It is that hope and that expectation of encountering the Father's goodness, of encountering real happiness and real love, that makes the happiness present even now, and it's that happiness that fuels Harry's Patronus charm. Please visit preachingfriars.org or subscribe to my YouTube channel to see all my videos or to make a contribution. Thank you for watching, and remember to read lots, pray more, and keep the faith.